MGL friends, we have talked about it for several days. Many of you have tried to predict my score, so let's take a look at the beauty and the challenge and my performance at Chambers Bay. It was a thrill to be part of a group of national golf and travel journalists invited to a trip to Seattle. We were picked up in style and immediately from the airport made our way directly to Chambers Bay on an absolutely stunning, perfect, gorgeous day in the Pacific Northwest. You could not have sketched up the weather any better. Our group of guys was a great deal of fun, and we were ready for the 10-mile hike up and down the Chambers Bay terrain. Not quite as brave and in shape as a young caddy who lugged around 2 different bags, but everywhere you look, the scenery was just incredible. I couldn't put the camera down and couldn't stop taking photos. And I was not alone in that amazement at the scenery. In fact, Chambers Bay, since it's a municipal golf course, actually has bike and walking trails right through the property. And so folks in the neighborhood could come by at no cost and make their way around the terrain. The scenery is amazing, situated right on the sound, and everywhere you look, you had a postcard moment. The course is difficult. It is not one for the faint of heart, and even though there's a lot of room to miss, as you can tell, anywhere you go off the fairway, whether you're playing the most modern technology or, like my friend Brian, playing old hickories, you got to keep it in play. If you get down into that sand or the fescue, it's going to make for a very long afternoon, and unfortunately, my A game remained back in Michigan. In some respects, having difficulty moving the ball in the generally desired direction sort of allowed me to enjoy the scenery more. I wasn't really focused on what the scorecard would look like because, as you will see here in a few moments, it didn't look all that good. But that freedom to take in the surroundings also alerted me to something that was really, really troubling. Chambers Bay reminded me a bit of the photoshopped supermodel who, from a distance, after a whole lot of cosmetic work, looks really good until you get very, very close. And there's a problem at Chambers Bay. And here is the problem. Not the scenery. I mean, when a train goes by as you're playing the 16th hole alongside the sound on a beautiful afternoon, there's certainly no problem with the scenery. But I would not have any credibility as someone who recommends travel destinations if I did not tell you this. The greens at Chambers Bay are terrible. They're putrid. Many of them were roped off in sections of the greens that were unputtable, and several others should have been. I don't like to critique places that are so special that would be on the bucket list for some of you. But at the same time, what I really don't want to do is mislead you into thinking that the golf experience, if you care about your score, is going to deliver nearly as well as it should. When I found out partway during the round how much our hosts paid for this round of golf, and I did say paid, they put down the Visa card and covered the normal greens fees of $330-ish depending on the taxes, I was aghast. I was also grateful, because it was very kind to be treated to a round at a special place, but I can't believe they're charging that much for the conditions of the course. It also reminded me of my criticism of the professional players back during the US Open when I heard them complaining post-round about the conditions of the putting surfaces. We all kind of had the same thought, didn't we? Hey, suck it up, you're a pro, everybody's playing the same course, you need to get after it and just toughen up a little bit. Those are easy thoughts to have until you're the one holding the putter. So my recommendation for a trip to Chambers Bay is this. Go, enjoy, soak it all in, but be prepared because the playing conditions don't come anywhere close to matching the beauty. Well, here we are at the end of a picture-perfect day at Chambers Bay. And the scene on 16 is just like we enjoyed on television during the US Open. Now let me say this, our host for this entire trip was the lovely and wonderful Salish Cliffs Golf Course. And I can't wait to show you how beautiful that place is. As a combination, the 2 courses together make for a fantastic trip to the Pacific Northwest, even if your game is in this kind of condition. Oh, the humanity of all those little squares. Thanks for joining us on the road with Michigan Golf Live, this time at Chambers Bay.